was even more than that, because then I started crying to myself. Luckily, it's pitch black in there. And I'm thinking, no, this is not what I want. And I'm at the far end of this Inipi. Like, there's not really a way to just run out and say, sorry, you know what? Gotta go. See you next week. So then she said, nope, they're saying that I didn't say it right. It's Wambli Pejuta Win, which means eagle medicine woman. It's getting worse, right? This is not improving me. This is making it worse. And she's going on, and I can't tell exactly what she's saying, because I've got full terror and panic running through me, thinking I am not equipped for this. And she goes, and this woman, me, is equipped for this, contrary to what she may think right now. And it's pitch black, but she's, intuitive. So this went on, and it felt like my life crashed, honestly, and it hasn't completely come back up. And she told everyone in there that from now on, they were only to call me by that name. No more Susan Morgan. And that when I die, the spirits will come to me with that name. They'll call me by that name. They will no longer call me Susan Morgan. And they're going to do a ceremony at the Sundance in July in South Dakota. And I will be there where her mother, who basically adopted me, this is like an adoption thing, and will give me one of my eagle feathers that I will have, crafted, and give it to me in my hair. And I will give it to each of my children and my grandchildren, and a few of them. And when I give them their eagle feathers, I will give them a name as well. Like, I'm about to cry just saying. So certainly at the dream circles, that's what I should be called, because as you may or may not know, I have my regular personality, which is not very charming. And then when I do this, I'm in a little bit better state, because I'm in a higher version of myself. I say a prayer, and that goes along with more in line, I guess, with Wambli Pejuta Win. And any big events that I do, just for everyday conversation, no, I'll be Susan Morgan. But when I'm working in this capacity, that will be my name. And, I feel very honored. I feel extraordinarily honored. I'm not sure I can live up to what they said. Now, up until this point, I could have dismissed it a few days afterwards, right? It's easy to do these kinds of things, especially for me. Like, oh, now, that was just Ebony having an off day. And by the way, after the second gate, the rain stopped, right? So when we're out of the ancestral gate, now the rain stops. But I'm still, thinking, okay, there's got to be a way out of this. And I'm crying, saying, basically begging, saying, no, I don't really want to do this. I've got enough on my plate. I've come to the conclusion I complain a lot. So at the very end, when they open the fourth gate, my friend Celeste, who's sitting next to me, says, look. Well, see, my eyes have been closed, because I was like basically praying, please, no. And I wasn't really opening my eyes. But there were the eagle feathers right at my feet. So they had flown across the Inipi. Yeah. One woman felt them brush by her cheek, and Celeste actually got more of a whack with it, where she thought something fell from the top of the Inipi, and her first thought was, oh, about bugs or something like that. So these flew through, and there were witnesses. We didn't see a fly because it was dark, but it went from Ebony's lap, and she was shocked. She looked at her lap, and they were gone, and they were right there in front of me. So spirits can do that kind of stuff, and so I'm going to slowly step into that role, whatever that is. And, after you do something like this, there's a 4-day span where you're in a heightened state of spiritual awareness. And like she was saying, in the old-fashioned days, we would have gone for 4 days, let's say, in our own teepee, and just been left alone, like out of the routine of life. But we can't do that nowadays. It's just not possible. But we were to be mindful of our words and our thoughts and our actions, because the spirits are watching us a little extra careful for about 4 days after. And I've had a lot of extraordinary experiences in the last few days. And I'm not panicking anymore. I'll just put it that way. I can still be who I am. I just have a fancy name. And so with that, thank you very much for watching.